Welcome back. The fallout continues from Manchester United's Europa League final defeat to Tottenham Hotspur on Wednesday. Ruben Amorim's side end a miserable season at home to Aston Villa tomorrow. And Peter Stevenson has been speaking to the United boss a short while ago. Peter, now that those few days have passed, what was Amorim's feelings on the defeat to Spurs?
Well, miserable is just one of many adjectives, I guess, that you can use. I mean, disappointing, frustrating, demoralising. It's really been a grim week for everybody concerned at Manchester United. Not only missing out on that Champions League money after that defeat by Spurs, but the team have to get themselves up for a final game at Old Trafford tomorrow against a really good Aston Villa side. And today, Ruben Amorim had to get himself up. He had to shrug off all that disappointment to face the media. And these were his initial thoughts on what the last 48 hours have been after that bad night in Bilbao.
Was really tough. It still is really tough. I think was harsh for us to lose that game. Again, I think we were the better team. We had more chances. We suffered a goal near the half time. We try everything in the second half, but it's really hard because, like I said, also before the match, that if you don't win the final, it's even harder to deal with that. It's really hard. I will not try to convince you the otherwise. It was a tough season, but we had that hope that we could win something, and that could help us to finish the season in the different way. The way we need to get up is to focus on the next game, to finish in a good way, and then we'll have time. And then when you start thinking about the future, thinking about the squad, a new season is going to start, and we will start with new ambitions and try to do better.
Peter, you mentioned the loss of Champions League revenue for next season. I suppose inevitably the fallout will see speculation on players moving away. What did Amorim have to say about rumoured exits for captain Bruno Fernandes and also Alejandro Garnacho?
Yeah, they're the two players who've captured most of the headlines in the aftermath of that defeat, and significant Saudi interest there's said to be in Fernandes, and he's made it clear that he wouldn't stand in the club's way if they wanted to, as he put it, cash in on him. Garnacho and his family quick to go on social media after that final, with him only making a brief substitute appearance, and I guess that doesn't really endear to the boss either, does it? So those are two assets, if you like, that Manchester United might well be looking at if they are to build up a pot of money to try and get out into the market. But it's a really difficult job trying to balance who leaves, what sort of money they can raise, and who comes in. But as you say, Fernandes and Garnacho are the two players who were the focus of this particular answer.
I always speak with my players, but the focus now is the last game. I don't know what is going to happen. We have a plan. We were prepared for both situations, with Champions League, without Champions League. We have an idea what type of squad we want, but now we have to focus on the game because we still have the last game, and we'll have time to address all that situations.
And what about the future of the man himself, Peter? Been suggestions he could walk away. He suggested previously himself that if it didn't go his way, if he couldn't impact, he might do that. What did he have to say on that topic today?
I've got to say, he seems hell-bent on rolling up his sleeves and actually trying to solve the great Manchester United puzzle. He came here early. We all know that. He would have preferred to come in and around about now, really. But he's had the benefit of 6 months. It's not been a good 6 months, but at least he's given him an insight into how big this job is. And quite possibly, I have to say, he's finding it more difficult than he thought it was even when he first arrived. But he's got a huge job on his plate. I mean, they play Villa tomorrow. Villa are in 6th. That effectively is where Manchester United want to be. They're down in 16th. They could actually finish in 17th, just one above the black line. No European football for the first time since 1990. So United are in a bit of a state. But this is what Amorim had to say about his own future and his determination to put it right.
No, it's not windows, and sometimes we don't know. Things can change fast, but to reach that kind of level that we need to be as a Manchester United is going to take time. But things I cannot say how many windows, how many years we need to reach that point, but we can improve. That is clear. These 6 months was really hard. A lot of changes, not just for me, for all the club. We did so many changes inside our club that sometimes it takes a lot of like 5 years or 3 years to change all the personnel and to change a lot of things. We changed coach in the middle of the season. The way they play, we changed. So was a really tough season. Now is that part that we need to enjoy and to focus on the future and to be positive, because we know what to do. I know how I want to play. That is clear. With all the mistakes that you guys can point to me, I know how I want to play, and that now is the excitement moment that we can change something.
You famously said before you joined here that you would have preferred ultimately to join at the end of the season around this time. I'm just wondering, the past 6 months you were talking about the challenges there. Have you been able to understand the club better, understand the problems of the club, or is there a part of you that actually still kind of wishes the club had maybe said, yeah, sure, come at the end of the season?
In this moment, I'm really glad that I arrived 6 months before we start a new season. But I think we are going to avoid a lot of mistakes, and would be in the next season. So I think we now is the time that we can use all that suffering to change things in the summer. And when I say in the summer, it's not just the players. There's a lot of things that we need to change in our club. So we are doing that. We did that for 6 months. We changed in every aspect of our club. So I'm really glad in this moment. We suffer a lot, but I'm really glad that I arrived 6 months, because it's going to help me a lot in the next season.
Well, I'm sure everybody at Manchester United will hope that suffering for the last 6 months will come to an end soon. But no sooner have they finished with Aston Villa tomorrow, then they're off on a really exhausting tour. They go to Kuala Lumpur and Hong Kong. They've got a game in Sweden against Leeds, and then they've got 3 games in the United States against Bournemouth, Everton and West Ham. So the demands on United certainly won't stop once that final whistle goes tomorrow. Amorim's rebuilding has to start, you would think, more or less straight away come Monday morning. He's got to get it right. He's had 6 months to see just how bad things are. And as far as Manchester United fans are concerned, things can only get better.
Let's hope so. Peter Stevenson, thank you very much.